Good morning, good morning. I'm trying to be quiet because my daughter's still sleeping. And I'm in charge of watching the fur babies. I got one right there. They're both chewing on cheese sticks. Let's see if we can get Duncan. They're both chewing on their cheese sticks because I'm trying to keep them quiet. Otherwise, Benny here, really wants to play. And Duncan really is not in the mood and they get really noisy. So giving them something to chew on make it so it's quiet in here. And yeah, so you know the drill by now, hopefully. Grab your beverage and join me so we can chat a little bit about life. Today I'm at my daughter's. She's got the most beautiful blue kitchen. And then I have my fur baby here, my grandpuppy. And today I have chosen, let's hope I can do this without him pulling my arm. You're the she to my nanigans. Isn't that cool? What are you drinking today? Today I already had my mushroom coffee, so I'm actually having lemon water. But what are you drinking? And if you have a favorite cup or mug or really pretty fancy glass, take a picture and post it. And always, for some reason, it tastes different when it's in a different mug. Like when I see this, because it's pink and it's bright, and it's just fun and it's happy. It's a happy color. And it kind of reminds me of all the shenanigans I've done throughout my life. Am I still on? It's always questionable if I get a phone call, if it's going to interrupt my live. What was I saying? Oh, all the shenanigans that I've done throughout my life. And I realized that because the other day, my daughter and I went for a walk on her campus, on her old college campus. And it brought me back to me being on my college campus, which in some sense feels like just yesterday, and in another sense feels like an eternity ago, right? Yes, the shenanigans that I did when I was in college, right? And when you got out of the house, whether you went to college or not, did you do some shenanigans with friends, crazy stuff? Do you do crazy stuff now? I will say that my shenanigans has gotten less and far and fewer between my shenanigans. But there's still some shenanigans happening, just much fewer. But I started thinking about all the shenanigans that I did in college and how my daughter has no idea that version of me. She has no idea the crazy things that I did. Goodness. And I think back of the and the people that I did them with that I no longer even are in my life or that I talk to, because our friends are in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And there are very few lifetimers. And those friends were obviously a reason or a season, and they have provided some incredible memories for me. And in this day and age, sometimes we can stay in touch, on the peripheral, like through Facebook, when we can just see what's going on in each other's lives, even though we're not involved. My dog tells me that he wants something to drink by putting his head and flipping the bowl to let me know, hey, I'm thirsty. It's amazing that our dogs can communicate without needing to speak a word, and they communicate just fine. And sometimes even better than we do with our words. It's very clear. Well, and other times it's like, what do you want? My daughter in LA, she actually has taught her dog to use buttons. Have you seen these? They're buttons, and when he steps on them, it says out or mom or food or water or play. And she's taught him to communicate using these buttons. And he actually will go, Yorick, play. Now. Whenever he pushes now twice, she knows he's serious. And a lot of it's play or out. It's amazing how easily they communicate without physically speaking words. So back to friends, right? Friends and shenanigans. And so now I'm at a point in my life where I'm looking to put more shenanigans in it and to make more friends to share in my shenanigans. Are you with me on that? Are you at that point? I don't know if it's a over 50 thing or if it's an empty nest thing or if it's I don't know, but I'm looking to add more shenanigans and more people and meet more people who want to join me in my shenanigans. And what about you? Do you have people in your life that you can do shenanigans with? I will tell you that I have lots of friends, but not all of them are at the same stage. I don't know what they're growling over. Hey, yours is right here. Benny, that's his. This is what happens when you go live and you also have dogs. Here, yours is right there. Yeah, I purposely gave them each a cheese yak. Do you know what those are? They're dried cheese. Hard. Here. Oh no, I think they're gonna exchange. Because of course one's is always better than the other, right? You're gonna take his, Duncan? Okay. But they're hard. They're really, really hard. And that's great because they're made out of yak cheese. And when they dwindle down to so small that I'm concerned that they could choke on it, you put it in the microwave and they puff up like a cheese puff. And then they can eat them without worrying that a chunk is going to get lodged or not pass. So I gave them those to chew on so that they could be quiet so my daughter can get some sleep. Where was I? Distracted. That's where I was, distracted. Shenanigans. Yeah, the she to my nanigans. So yeah, I'm looking to add more shenanigans, more fun, more adventure, more I don't want to say that I don't feel like I've been living life. I just don't feel lately like I am living life, that I'm exploring things, that I feel that I've added a lot of responsibility, that I am creating a lot of impact, and I'm feeling a transition coming. I'm feeling a shift coming. I'm feeling a change coming. And I don't know exactly what that is or what that looks like. I've talked a little bit about that here, about approaching retirement, about traveling more, about looking into 55 and older communities, about yeah, but I feel, like at the end of Mary Poppins, one of my favorite movies, the end of Mary Poppins, when she says, when I think the head of her umbrella goes, Mary Poppins, change is coming, or he says something like that. I feel change coming. I feel major change coming. But I also feel that it's a positive change. Are you with me? Is anybody else feeling this? Are you looking for positive change to happen in your life? And you just think, well, maybe one day, possibly, hopefully, maybe, possibly, or are you actively looking for change? Or are you, just think one day maybe it might happen? Because we all know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And yet I'm so notorious for doing that. Doing the same thing and then expecting it to lead to somewhere different. And learning and putting forth the effort in a different direction, then it's very uncomfortable. It's unfamiliar for me. And going to be exploring more. I'm going to make myself uncomfortable more. And I'm going to share that along the way. A couple of years ago, a little over a year and a half ago, I was talking to someone the other night about the fact that I went on a retreat and I pushed myself way outside my comfort zone. I am someone who is not very comfortable with heights, and on this retreat, not only did I do multiple zip lines, crying the entire time, every single one, literally shaking from fear and doing it anyway, to jumping off a cliff, to oh, good golly. Oh, I did an ice bath where I physically was in for about 2.5 minutes, and I physically lost feeling in my legs. They had to pull me out by my underarms and put me in the sun and run my legs to get the feeling back in my legs. I really pushed myself to do things that were incredibly uncomfortable for me. And my beautiful daughter's awake. Yay! And although I don't need to push myself to the discomfort of that extreme, sometimes it's worth it to just be a little uncomfortable. And so I'm looking to do some things that are a little uncomfortable. Because here's an interesting fact, that research has shown that women don't have any hobbies, or have way fewer hobbies than men. Because throughout our lives, so much of our time has been spent working, taking care of households, children, dogs, aging parents, friends, and that there's very little time to pursue a hobby, whether that's painting, travel, singing. It doesn't matter what the hobby is, book writing, because our lives are so full that there doesn't seem to be enough time to implement a hobby. And then when we get to this phase of our lives, people say when you retire, you get to do all your hobbies. But we've not cultivated or explored any hobbies, at least I haven't, to really embrace. And so some of the things I did when I was younger, I don't want to do those anymore. And I don't really know what I want to do. And realizing that I can experiment with different things and not have to commit to do them for the rest of my life, but to do them occasionally or for a while and then not at all, gives myself permission to really dabble in some things. For a while when I retired, I think the first time, I did crochet. And I really liked that. Did it for years. I did more than blankets. I did stuffed animals. I did slippers that looked like moccasins. I actually did slippers that were on the soles of flip-flops, and I made them into boots. Yeah, I should show you pictures. I mean, I was doing all sorts of crazy kind of stuff, not just Afghans or scarves and hats. I also did what I call whoobies, which are items that like they're in the shape of an animal like Minnie Mouse, and then they have like a blanket attached for little kids. It's like a security blanket for little kids. I did outfits. I did a little dress and a pair of short overalls, blue, like a sailor kind of outfit for a little boy and girl. So I've done a ton of things. And then just one day I didn't feel like doing it anymore. That's okay. And that's okay. Will I pick it up again? I don't know. Maybe I can if I want to. But right now I'm not feeling it. So what is next? I don't know. But as I explore and examine and search out different hobbies and different things to try out to see if they work for me, I will let you know. What is something that you do for a hobby? Do you have any? Let me know, because maybe that will spark something on for me. I know my daughter plays pickleball, and I played pickleball for a while, and when I come up here, I play with her. But yeah, I'm not really feeling that either. I'm not really feeling that anymore. So, let you know some of the things that I'm contemplating. That's the word, contemplate, considering, is like swing dancing or country line dancing, or I don't know, some sort of dancing thing. And am I a great dancer? I wouldn't say I'm a great dancer, no, but I enjoy it. It's fun. It would get me out of the house. It would get me moving. It would get me socializing. It checks a lot of the boxes that I'm looking for. Get my endorphins flowing. So I'm considering that one. And I'll take you along as I figure it out, because I know I'm not alone in this. I've talked to many, 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 many women who also don't have hobbies, who don't have extracurricular activities that they enjoy doing. And maybe my exploration will encourage you to explore some of them too. Or maybe we could someday do them together. Who knows? All right. On that note, my friend, I hope that you're having a thrilling, thriving, thankful Thursday. And I will talk to you tomorrow. See ya.